Well, good morning. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Hey, Mad Max. Hey, Cecil. If the AV is good. We got Mad Max, Johnny No Shoes. The AV is good. Awesome. Brandon's in. Yeah, so I got rid of that Yeti mic. It was giving me issues for whatever reason. We tried everything. Even when I was trying to record video with it through Clipchamp, the audio would constantly go in and out. And a lot of times, just to make it work, I had to unplug it from the USB port, plug it back in. So I took it back, and I got this Razer Chroma Siren, and I think it sounds a lot better. It works. There's no issues. Plus, you get the cool RGB effects if you want to use them. Most of my setup is Razer anyway, so I have one their Synapse app, and I can manage all the devices in one. Hey, Tommy, good to see you. Tommy coming in. We are live through the Rumble platform this time. I'm trying it through Rumble to YouTube. If I like it, we'll stick to that. Hey, Josh, good morning, man. New bird. What's going on? Hey, Tara, good to see you. Now, I do have, so right off, you know, I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this going forward and keep it simple. Looks super clear. Awesome, Tommy. Yeah, that's the Razer Kio, however you say it, camera. Um, I had the better one, the Pro, but it was messing up, so I took it back. Um, oh, okay, cool. Brandon's going to be trying out a couple mics himself. Now, one thing I do not like so far is I am not seeing all the YouTube chat. So I have another device right here on YouTube only so I can moderate that. So that's one thing I don't like already. If I stream through StreamYard, I can stream to 3 platforms and I see all the chat. Hey, Patty, good to see you, buddy. I see you changed your avatar. Looks pretty good. But I know you put a post out about that as well. But, it's almost like in order to get monetized, well, in order to make money on Rumble, you have to stream through Rumble. I can stream to Rumble through StreamYard, but I'm assuming because I'm not going directly from Rumble, you don't get no proceeds. Yo, this mic is sounding great, Jesse. Thank you, Brandon. I think so too. I got it. I'm super happy with it. I also picked up the Rode Studio Professional boom arm because that one I tried to make work starting to crack. This one's much better, and it has like clips to hold the wires going down it. The old one I'm still using to hold this cell phone here, which works out pretty cool too. Yes, I am super happy with this mic. I can change. This one's called Fire. You can change all kind of different RGB colors with it if you want to, or you can turn it off. You can switch between. You can take the buttons and change them within the Synapse app. If I tap it twice, it'll turn RGB off. If I tap it once, it'll mute. Nightbot's going to work. Yeah, so I don't know. It's hard to, as with anything, it's a give and take situation. I can stream to 3 platforms from StreamYard. Everything's pretty linear and smooth. I like it. You get additional features. If I stream right through the YouTube app, you're very limited with what you can do. You get some pretty nice 1080p video. But if you want to go live with anybody, you can't put a link in the chat and bring them up on the fly. You have to schedule that beforehand. Um, what was I saying? But obviously, because it's the YouTube app, it's built right in, so everything works pretty good. If I want to go live from Rumble, I can only stream out to 2 platforms. I think you can do Instagram and other ones, but you cannot do Facebook, which I'm not too mad about Facebook, but I don't know. I'm looking for that one streaming platform. I can do one and go to all, and everything's simple. And so far, StreamYard is the only one that really provides that. However, if you want to make money, like I was saying on Rumble, you have to stream through Rumble. Pretty sure, isn't that correct, Tommy? But I do like them all. They all have their pros and cons. I really got to do some tank maintenance. As you can see, the water's getting low now. 55 behind me. It's creating a lot of flow uh, within the aquarium, and that's loud. How's the background noise? Is that a minimum? Is the microphone doing a good job keeping the background noise down? Fish, hey Mel. Mel came in. Jody P's in. Good to see everybody. Tommy says you can still be monetized if the videos are uploaded to Rumble, but you can't be able to do the ads and won't get the promotions and stuff. Yeah, like when Jim reads those campaigns off, you're saying. I don't know. I keep checking my stats and earning on Rumble, and I've got what 1 or 2 live streams on there now, and some videos, and it doesn't say I'm earning anything. So I don't know how that's confusing me. But with anything, you got to try it. You got to see how you like it, get used to it, and that's what we're doing here. I feel like my lights are a little bit too bright. Oh yeah, these lights do all kind of different stuff too. I can make it look like the cops are here. Oh God, cops just showed up. Turn one of them off. I think that's a little better. Yeah, not so shiny. Well, that was a good live stream last night, Max. Heated. There was love, there was comedy, there was drama. You had it all. And you got rewarded handsomely for that, sir. There was like at one point, I think, like 94 people. You could probably see what was your peak count. I think that was a good live stream. We learned a lot and we fought a lot. But at the end, it was a good time. The fish police, that's right. I could do that. Oh, ho, 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 fish police. I think all the comments are coming through. I might have been mistaken on that. I think I just wasn't scrolling down fast enough. We've got 7 people watching on the Rumble side and 18 people watching on the YouTube side. Appreciate you guys coming in. I do have a topic for this morning's live streams, and that is understanding how the flow works. And I'm going to focus on the 2 canister filters that are my favorite, the FX series and the 07 series canister filters. We're gonna talk about that. Does could have been better, and that's another thing. You can't tap on comments and bring them up on screen, which is something I don't like. Let me ask you guys this. Anyone in here that has a Fluval canister filter, whether it be an FX canister filter or an 07 or an 06 or, you know what I mean? Do you really know how your water's flowing in there? We look it up when we're, say, replacing media or cleaning them out. But I know I will end up forgetting and have to look it up again. Well, I've made it a point to memorize how it works because the importance of that is important. Do any of you guys have these filters, and do you truly know, without Googling right now, just to be honest, do you know how the water flows in the FX and the 07 series canister filters? Because that is going to dictate how you put your media. That's what I want to talk about on today's live stream. The live was not what I hoped it was going to be. Yeah. You know, at the end of the day, and I think Mad Max said it too, you know, everybody says they don't like drama. I certainly don't like a lot of drama. I will shy away from it, and I think most of us do, but all of us like it a little bit. And if you, that's one of them, don't pee down my necks and tell me it's raining type of thing. All of us like a little bit of drama. And whether you like it or not, it creates competition, it creates thinking, it creates emotion. It's one of them things that you need. It's like a double-edged sword. You don't want a lot of it, but a little bit's good. Tommy says, "You're right. If there's drama, I'm out. Pass me on. I don't care about anybody's drama. Y'all like YouTube is Facebook now." But Tommy, you do create drama. I think we forget. All of us create drama in one way or the other. I've been chatting with you and Jim in our VIP chat. I think we all have a little bit of drama, and this just comes. I mean, what is drama? Where's the line of what's the line? Like, what defines drama? Is it complaining? Is it feeling bad for yourself? You know what I mean? What defines drama? Because people can look at that at many different ways. Drama queen. Oh God, my shoulder hurts so bad today. You're talking to the wife. My shoulder hurts so bad today. I woke up this way. It hurts so bad. Oh, you drama king. Buck it up. Do what you got to do. Was that drama, or was that just saying, man, my shoulder hurts? What defines it? Jody P says, Allison, it was a stream on Jordan. Oh, Allison's in. Good to see you, buddy. He missed that. I like drama to the point where I'm intrigued about what the drama is there. Right. If you say you don't, it's hard to believe anybody that says they. If you don't want a part of drama, what Tommy's saying, I know what he means. He doesn't want no part of this thick freaking drama that goes, you know what I mean? Nobody does. Tommy says my line is other people's business should be aired out in the world to see. None of us are to judge or point authority. So keep that stuff to yourself and start acting like you're on high horse. Yeah, it would have been nice to be able to focus on a little bit more of the educational facts aspect of it, and we did get that. But when you bring several people, several entities into one room, there is going to be most likely disagreements. I think in our community on doing live streams, this is the first time I've ever seen it. It doesn't happen a lot. But anytime you bring multiple people in one roof, you're going to have disagreements. Each of you have your own quirks the other doesn't like. Anybody that's married understands this. I can't stand it when my wife squeezes toothpaste from the top of the tube and not the bottom. I hate that. Things like that. But, living with something so simple long enough, eventually you're going to have an argument about it. John's Enix World. That is a new name. Appreciate you. And this is one good thing right here about streaming to different platforms and from different platforms. You get to see and talk to new people. JT Fish is in. Good to see you, buddy. You'll just have to go back and watch the live. It was actually really good. There were just a couple of them in there that weren't getting along. But I think Mad Max did a pretty good job regulate that as best as he could. But it got pretty heated a couple times. But I watched it from the beginning to the end. Is that because I like drama? No. Do I like drama a little bit? Yeah. I think we all do. I'm just one of them people who are not afraid to admit it. It's it is one of them things. It is okay to disagree. I disagree with most things. Brant says I disagree with most things. But it was good, man. It was good. And the thing about the YouTube world and social media, any interaction is good interaction, whether it's positive or negative. It's good for your channel. It's good for the views. Whether you like it or not, it's all good. Now, unfortunately, in today's age, it is the scales have tipped more into the negative. I'd surely like to get that positive up a little bit higher than the negative. And this is a large reason why I feel that we as fish tubers YouTubers trying to make it on here don't really do good because we're not really filled with negativity and drama. On all of our channels, we're educating, we're talking about things we like, we're sharing our hobby with the world. We really don't get into controversial things and negative things. And I feel like if we included them more often, you can best believe we'd get a lot more traction. But I don't think too many of us are about that. I know I'm not. This is fun. The moment this becomes a chore, I don't want to do it anymore. I will sell everything that I have set up to do these live streams and just keep my fish. But it's not to that point with me. And I've certainly enjoyed meeting everybody on here. Somebody said something. Patty's in here. Who said? Well said, Patty. I don't see Patty. Patty's right there on my YouTube side. I do not see him here. See, that's what I mean. Patty said, I'm all about conversation, but those involved have to have an open mind and hearing the other side. Without open minds and conversations, there will be misunderstandings. And that's exactly right, Patty. And that was just the biggest problem yesterday. Tommy says, no controversy that I'm into. That's why I stopped with the fish tube. Yeah. Now controversy. Forceful mute. But it was a good live. I enjoyed it. I did learn a lot. You had a couple big brains in there, a few big brains, and Jose being one. Very, very educated, very smart man. Mad Max, he did a fantastic job talking to everybody and asking questions, really being able to weed out the crap and he was trying real hard to keep it on the mainstream and keep focused. He did a fantastic job at that. And even Discus North, he's actually more, I learned from that stream that he is, where, regardless of what you want to see, if you look out past the outside of the box, the man knows some stuff. Now, whether it was applied correct, that's what was in question. But he knows his information, just wasn't applied correctly. But he says, not having an open mind, things don't get far. Like with your live with Corey, at some point you said maybe you have to point out oxygen. Yeah, it was cool. I'll tell you, it was something different, and I think that's what a lot of people crave. I don't know. My live streams are kind of like, I try to add humor and do different things and bring different things to the table, but at the end of the day, it's really just another live stream. What are we talking about? What do we get into? Maybe I'll set a goal and do something funny or silly and embarrass myself, things like that. So if you can say anything, Mad Max, it was different and it brought something different to the table for at least that live stream. And I think people like that too. It's not all about drama. It was something different because it's not every day we see two people arguing on there. And so you put the two together. It makes sense why you had so many people watching it. It was good. I liked it. I struggled a little bit myself, Mel. I had a hard time following that. And I think Mad Max eventually got it pinned down and pointed out. I was waiting for Father Fish to. Yeah, and Mad Max offered to have him come up, but they didn't want him to come up. That would have been fun. That would have been fun. I've never seen another fish tuber twerk on camera. Well, thank you, Branton. I was waiting for I read that one. Daniel, see, I'm not seeing, unless I missed it. Oh, here he is. Try the gaming streams. They get really fun with drama. FishTube is mellow in comparison. Yeah, Daniel, you're right. I've watched them because I'll play some Call of Duty. I got the PS4 and I got the Modern Warfare 3, and me and my daughter like to play the older one before that. And just being in that game and chatting, oh my God. Or just not even chatting and listening. Keeping the chat on, enabled. It is insane what some of these people will say just because you shot them and they got mad at you. It's insane. Terry says, I hurt my ribs at work. I pulled the cartilage away from my ribs. How? And how did we do that? You pulled the cartilage straight off away from your rib cage on the left side. What was you doing? Pulling something too hard? Well, I hope you. That should heal. I'm trying to figure out how you did that. That sounds terrible. If you could see this setting in sight, this is called the fire. It looks like a glowing torch when you walk in the room. It's pretty cool. I got my keyboard set on that same thing. Yeah, Moose, you missed that. It was the twist dance into a twerk. Every once in a while, I'll set a goal. And if we meet the goal, I have to do something demoralizing, demeaning, and embarrassing of your guys' choice. I'm not going to do that every stream, but we'll throw it in there every once in a while. But see, now things like that, you don't have access to that goal feature unless you're live through YouTube. If I'm going through StreamYard or Rumble, obviously, you can't do it. So in order to do that, I have to literally go live through YouTube by itself. Well, no, that's wrong. I can, because I have my account up on my phone, I can set a goal right here. PS4 gang here too. Been playing Fallout for my favorite games. Daniel was Call of Duty and the God of War series. I like the older ones better than the newer ones. So, did she say how she did that? I drive the Tuggers. Oh, I work on those all the time. Do you have Raymonds or do you have them Crowns? The stupid Crowns. Which one do you got? Raymonds are red and black. And we work on those all the time. I drive the Tuggers and I got flown from one. I flew like Superman, landed flat on the cement floor. So it will take 7 to 9 weeks to heal because there's not a lot of blood flow there. Really? Well, how'd you get? That's operator error. You did something wrong. You don't just fly off of a Tugger. So a Tugger, if you look at a Tugger, so everyone understands, it's not a forklift. You stand on it, you have a handle, you pull down, there's a dead man pedal. You have to stand on the dead man pedal. If that's not depressed, it won't work. It's a safety feature. And on the back as a hitch, so you can hook up to wagons and trailers or whatever the company has, and then you can tow those around from place to place. They're really nice. They're fun to drive. I enjoy them. In order to get thrown off of that, you had to either ran into something, somebody left a piece of pallet wood on the floor that the wheel got stuck on and stopped you, or you stepped off that dead man pedal when it came to a quick halt. This is the stuff I deal with on a daily basis. Wally says the delivery of your opinion is important. It's important not to be condescending and arrogant as well. Yes, and I can say that both parties in that live stream were doing all of that. In any argument, in any fight, it takes two to tango. You got this story, you got this story, and somewhere in the middle is the truth. But it always takes two to tango. So I want to know the explanation, Tara. I want to know why you decided to do the Superman sea crab barrel roll off the Tugger. So did anybody answer my question? Does anybody know how the water flows through an FX series or 06 or 07 canister filter? From the time the water goes in and through the media to the time it goes out, do you know how that water flows? While we're talking, I'll give you a minute. No Googling. No Google. No giggles. Tara said I did. I wasn't doing anything. I was just going down the aisle and the wheel turned to the right and I went left. There was a small piece of wood on the floor that may have caused it. Yeah, probably from a pallet, a broken up pallet. And that's probably what happened. It hit that and it jerked your wheel. Yep. We have that complaint all the time. If I'm walking through the customers and going down the docks or wherever I'm heading and I see pallet wood in the floor, I'll pick it up and throw it in the trash. Those are terrible. Jose says, "Yep, I see you, Jose. Water flow. Yeah, so you know your water flow. You know the direction those canister filters take. It's important because it dictates how you want to put your media in them. I thought it would be a good discussion on a live stream. I have never talked about that. I also have something else to show you guys. I got a package yesterday. I got a product in the mail. We're going to talk about that too. Daniel says from top to bottom. Okay, which one is that, Daniel? Is that the FX series? Or is that the 0607 series canister filters? Because they're both different. Sarah says, we drive Barrettts, Crowns, and U.S. carriers. I use the carriers. You mean unicarriers? I think you mean unicarriers. Unicarrier is a forklift made by Nissan. Nissan, as Trump would say, Nissan. I never heard of a Barrett, but Crowns and unicarriers for sure. Wait, maybe not now that I think about it. What did Moose say? My Sunsun canister goes tough. See, that's what I mean, Moose. We think we know, and then till the very next time we crack them open to clean them, we're like, oh crap, which way does the water go? And that's what happens every time. I've got to do some maintenance in these tanks. Just had a weird dream about a drink and creepy local fish store owner sitting me down and asking me why and how he offended my friends and I. Just a weird dream. That's a crazy dream. The 207? Okay. So in the '07 series, when the water comes in, it goes right down to the bottom and comes up right through the middle of all the media trays and back out. Very simple. So, having said that, when you're putting your media in, they want you to do the mechanical, biological, chemical order. I think is the rule of thumb. Of course, you don't have to follow that, but if you do run chemical filter media, it is the last thing you want the water to go through. So it's very easy to mess that up and think, okay, this water's coming in. I'm going to put the carbon on the top. If you put the carbon on the top in this case, that's correct because that water's coming down to the bottom and up through all the cartridges in the center. So the carbon will be the last thing that goes through before it goes out. Your FX series is a whole lot different. That water comes in down the sides. It goes up through the sponges, down through the center, and then back up through the top before it goes out. So you have a whole lot more time that water's in there. So it's important to understand which one you've got and how the water flows to dictate where you want to put your media. Hey, Stubbs, good to see you. Drunk. Oh, you meant drunk. Okay, I got you. Hey, Jim, good to see you. Well, I mean, it's not my first time Rumble. I was on here for over a year ago, but it is my first time going live through Rumble. But you got to try it. You got to try things. Can't say you don't like something until you try it, right? Now, I don't know how the Sun canister works. I've never owned a Sun. I hear they're pretty popular. Ben Ochart likes them. Jim likes his. Jody P, I'm assuming you like yours. I see your comments, Jim, from YouTube side. Cecil says, when it pops up here on the Rumble side, That took forever. Now, I totally skipped that one comment from Cecil. Now it came up. I have the FX4 on my tanks. I've got one, two, 4 FX6s, 2 FX4s, 2 Fluval 407s, and 1 Fluval 306. Grant says my EHAM Pro canisters go from the top down. So when the water comes in, is it going down through the filter media and then just back up and out? Or does it come down the side, up through the filter media in the center and then out? Jody has the OASE. I don't ever know how to say that. OASE 850 Biomaster. I have heard good things about OASE, but they're pretty expensive. Aquatic Moose says, I believe the Sun does go bottom to top after I think about it. Okay. Hey, Sue India, good to see you. So let me shift this live stream a little bit. I'm going to do something I usually don't do when I get a product to review. But I find this a very interesting product because, as you guys know, I'm a big canister filter guy. I have that 65 tall back there that I have my convicts in, but I cannot put a canister filter on the floor under it because I have a 20-gallon long QT tank sitting under there, and currently I am soaking my porcupine goldfish. So this item is going to be perfect. Let me just show you what we got. Now, you tell me this isn't an interesting idea. I did pick the largest version. This is a new product. It is a canister filter, but it is a hang-on-the-back canister filter. Right up my alley for what I need on that tank back there. Okay, I lied. Yeah, no, she gave me the biggest. So this is the AC 110, 120 volt, HG 108, 8-watt version. So I'm real excited to get this out of the box and put it on that tank and see what it does. Now, Higer's doing some really cool things. If you look right here, this is a spray bar. So you can put that on. If you just don't want the flow shooting out, you can just put that little spray bar on there. And of course, if you come over here, they love including their little surface skimmers. So when you hook this thing up, you're getting a surface skimmer, the spray bar option, or take it off and just put the flow on it. I'm going to be hooking this up and doing a cool little review video on this. What do you guys think about this? This is the first time I've heard of a hang-on-the-back canister filter. Is that new to anybody else? I'm excited about this. Jim got a foot of snow. Yep, he sent us a picture. He had to do some plowing. That's a lot of snow. It got cold here tonight, about 28 degrees, 26 degrees. Oasis is comparable to the Fluval price-wise. Okay. Speaking of Oasis, is it Oasis? Customer service, they pronounce it Asa? Is that how I say it, Jody? Asa? Asa? Asa. Okay. When Sun, I would go for the size above that you're actually filtering because it's not so powerful. Okay. I always like to over filter my tanks a little bit anyways with any filter. You're looking at a guy that's got a Fluval 306 running a 29-gallon right now with a spray bar attached because the only thing in that tank is my little baby fish. The little baby fish. But because I've seen that same type of product, I think Zoomed makes it for turtles, but that's kind of how Higer does things. Okay. Dana says, I've seen those on Amazon. I do want to try one. Higer makes some good stuff. I do like Higer products. I haven't had a bad experience with one yet. I had a comment on my last review video I did. I don't know which one it was, but a guy said he's had nothing but trouble with two different products that he got from them, and he won't buy from Higer anymore. But that's with any product. And it's the same with reviews. You have good, you have bad. It's just the way it is. Close enough? Oh, asa. Oh, asa. Thank you. Because I kind of like saying that, kind of like salsa. Salsa. You want to get some salsa? How about some owasa? Sounds like something you'd put on a chip, Jody. Hey, man, you want some owasa? You want some owasa with those Doritos? Says I have a Higer 3-in-1 mini sponge filter and a couple tanks. They're air driven by Higer mini air pumps. Straightforward, and they work great in the smaller tanks. 10 or bigger, and they wouldn't fit. And the price is great. Higer puts out some pretty innovative things, and for the price, you can't beat it. My favorite thing they've sent me so far is that power head. But we're going to see how this goes. Google the hot magnum filter from Raylan. I've seen it. Actually had one here one time, Alice, and I got in the deal with some tanks from an old guy. I've had a couple of those magnum filters here before, but they were missing parts. I couldn't use them. I threw them in the garbage. Yeah. With some owasa on my Locos Doritos topped with owasa. Brent says it's oase. Oase. Okay. Well, now I can't do the whole condiment thing with it. I suppose I can. Oase. Oase. Yeah, be careful out there, Jim. I am on call. It is my turn to be on call this weekend, so at any time I can get a phone call and have to go out and fix some stuff. So there's that. I hate being on call. Oh. I read many reviews before I buy anything. Before I get anything. If you want the truth, ask the customer, and the main sponge filter and a pump together cost $30. That's true, Daniel, but in the same sense, even that's becoming corrupt, if you want to use a word to put on it, because if you look, a lot of people are kind of paid off to put in a good review. But I think by law, they have to show which ones those are. A lot of times, if people buy a product from a company, it doesn't work out, and they want to send it back, they put a bad review, they'll ask you, hey, we'll refund your money. We'll send you another one if you remove that review. My wife is not one for that, because she'll say, no, I'm going to tell the truth because people want to know what they're buying. You can refund my money, but I'm not taking the bad review down. Your product didn't work. It broke. It sucked. It wasn't what you said. If more people had that mentality, the world would be a little easier, because these companies don't like good reviews or bad reviews. And if they could have all good, they'd have them on there. So we've got first-hand experience of these companies trying to buy you off, so to speak. Take that down. We'll do this if you take that down. No. Just give me my money back and the review stays. Your product sucks. Fix it. Higer lights have lasted me years and grown plants incredibly well, and their co-op looking heater has lasted me years too. Okay. Moose don't have to give name. I like name versus channel name. Yeah. Yeah, they got some cool products. I think things like this, if you go over to Patty's Aquatics channel, he's got a lot of cool little things they sent over, like that automatic feeder with a built-in camera. and it's sensor, so you can set it to where if a fish comes by and it senses the fish, it'll feed them. Um, the camera is the same way, or you can just use it as a camera, or you can get on your phone and feed what you want to feed. Pretty cool, pretty cool stuff over there. Some of them power heads he put in his indoor pond. That was neat. But I know with those air driven things you're talking about from Higer, I've seen those on there. Higer has a crazy sheer amount of products so far. I've had luck with the lights and the heaters. Okay, Mel. Moose says, just very respectable. You can add to the review saying they made it right. Exactly. But let's be honest. Let's not cover it up. But a lot of people won't do that because they want the money back and the free product. So yeah, sure, I'll take that down. If we just speak the truth about things more often, it will be a better world. Then people would really know what they're getting into and getting into what they're buying. Hey, Peplin, good to see you, buddy. So, Jody, you were here too. What do you think of this mic? Sound a lot better than that Yeti mic then? Hmm? So we've talked about the flow canister filters. I talked about this new product I have to review. We talked about Mad Max's live stream. I've tested my new mic on my first live with it. Dan says, you're another Higer fanboy too, Moose. I like Fluval. I like that too. I like Fluval better because my Plant 3.0 lights make everything grow and look really good, but that Fluval price point is high. Yes, it is. Uh, I like to try a little bit of everything. I love that Higer is a channel sponsor and I get to try these things out to see how things work. But I'm a big Fluval fan. Now, my absolute favorite aquarium light is the Fluval Aqua Skies or any of their lights. You can link them to an app. Very easy to program. If the light you lose power, all you have to do is bring that app up. As soon as it syncs, they take right back off where you left off. But the price tag is high. As the remainder of my actual aquarium lights die, I took all the ones off I didn't like and kept the ones that are more simple that I do like on there. You can probably see I've got chains hanging down above every aquarium. Over here, you see this, right over here. I got all these pendant lights hanging, and that's on an analog timer, and that's what lights those aquariums. Eventually, that's what every one of these tanks are going to be because they're simple. It's on, it's off on an analog timer. If you lose power, depending on how long, all you have to do is catch that dial up a little bit and you're done. Those lights are super cheap clip lights you can get at Lowe's, something like $5. And then you can get whatever LED light you want and screw into them. I hang them from the ceiling. But that's eventually. I already got all the chains above every tank. It's just when these LED lights fail, they're getting replaced with that setup. My 300 gallon, when it's fixed, I already have it rigged up with those lights ready to go. Simple. I like simple. Aquarium lights are great, and some of them definitely make the tanks look better than others. But I don't think they're doing a bad job over there, and it's much, much cheaper. But if I could outfit the whole fish room with aqua skies, you betcha. What's going on? Let me check my camera. Here's some noise out there, and the dogs are going crazy. Let's see what we got here. FedEx. FedEx is dropping off a package. Man, they're barking like crazy. Excuse me a minute while I read. I apologize. Back to this. My dogs bark at everything, like most people do. Tommy says, well, Aquatic Blue says, Daniel, look at my 40B videos. That's all powered by Higher Light. I do love the Higher, makes a lot of different products and affordable. I would go for Fluval if I could afford it, but I am anti-app. See, I like the apps. Now, I will say the best Aqua Skylight I had, the Bluetooth went out in it. The light would work manually, but you only had so many options, but the app went out in it, so I couldn't do anything with it anymore. It's up on top of the shelf. Plants will grow. Tommy says plants will grow with light. It's all LEDs nowadays until you get bougie with someone like Intercooled Grow Lights. Dang, you're all buying the same product. That's why I just select the light range. I want out of shop lights. Okay. Hey everyone, sorry I got up after George live last night. Wow, that live that was. Yeah, Raisin, we were talking about that a little bit when we first come in. Good to see you, buddy. Jody P says, I have Higher Lights on my fish room tanks. They do a good job. Before I bought those, I used my full spectrum and starting lights. They were my favorite. Hey, Tim, good to see you. Appreciate you coming in. George, let me just say you're awesome. Can't wait to check it out. By the way, Jesse, thank you for the stickers. Did you get them, Branton? Very cool. Awesome. You're most welcome. Let people speak their minds and keep an open mind. Cool. Jim got his package. Branton got his. Geez, I sent some out to Shirley, Mel. Did you guys get your package? Did you get your stickers yet? No. God, I can't even remember who I sent everything. There was a lot. Cecil got his stickers. Okay, you like them? Awesome. Colossal Sword. Wow, that's the name. Colossal Sword, proper form and technique. Appreciate you coming in. Good to see you. He says, or she, best floating plants for a pond is anacris and pearlweed. Also works with hang-in-the-back filters, unlike duckweed and water lettuce. Duckweed is a pain. Appreciate you coming in. Like to see new names. He's coming from the YouTube side. Anacris is another plant I like. You also want to maybe include water sprite in that colossal. Water sprite. I do like. Ross Baltimore was supposed to send me some water sprite, but he was trying to see if it would survive shipping. He would put it in a box like he was going to send it, set it outside, and within what, according to him, within like hours, it was wilting. So I guess he couldn't send them. But water sprite is one of my favorite floating plants. Daniel says, if I'm setting up in show tank, I'll spend a bit more on lights. If it's a breeding rack or a tank lights or tank, those lights are going to be cheap. And the Fluval app is awesome. Yeah, can control all 5 from the couch. You got it. Really enjoying the 24/7 Higher Lights over the Phoenix live streams. And I've had Phoenix, Tim, and it's actually above my North Fin banner up there. It still works. I've had it since 2016. But I think the drivers are starting to go in and out of it because some of the lights won't work properly and it's not bright enough. But it is enough to light up that banner a little bit. Fishcapades. Mel says, Jesse, the Higher external cleaner thing that looks like it was made straight out of a PC was, yeah, you know what? I know what you mean. A lot of people didn't like it. I sent that to Jim. I could have ran it and it would have worked, but I didn't have a high enough GPH pump to run it. So I sent it to Jim. He's got one and he's going to put it on his 240. And he's going to put it to work. So I'm curious to see how he likes it when he gets it set up and see what his thoughts are on it. It is a little loud. You can get a gray version so it doesn't stick out so much, but it's designed to be on the side of an aquarium. So like my 300, I could have put it on the side over here and it would have been perfect because that's facing the garage door where I'm facing now, and you really wouldn't have seen it. And I put a 32-gallon brute garbage can under there, and I had a whole tray set up so the water would come out and flow through additional media. But the pumps I had would not keep up with the flow, so I could never get the balance. My tank was draining or it was filling too fast, and I couldn't get it right. You need like a 3,000 to 3,500 GPH pump to run that thing. And the biggest I had was 1,090. And actually, my 880 GPH pump was pumping faster than that 1090. So I think that 1090 was rated wrong. Canisters are a pain to clean maintenance. That's why I only keep sponge filters and HOB. Oh, yeah, and absolutely. And teach their own, Colossal. But I don't find them a pain at all because I don't have to clean my canister filters but every 7 months. And as long as you take them apart when you do clean them and you lube the seals, you never have leaks. The weakest point is the aqua stop valves. And again, as long as you keep them clean, make sure there's no sand in there, they're rarely a problem. So I don't understand why they can be. I understand why they're a pain to a certain extent because they are heavy. But if you drain the water before you move them, they're not heavy to pick up. But you can run them bad boys 7 months. Some people have ran them for a year to 2 years. And when they cracked them apart, Ben Ochart just put a video out on this, and it wasn't even bad after a year. And that's why I like canister filters. You get a lot more filtration, you get a lot more power, and they go a heck of a lot longer. Hang on the back filters are constant maintenance. They're always plugging up. The impeller's always getting stopped. Um, they're always clogging up and going over that overflow within them. I don't, and there's not a lot of room within them. So the HOB filter is probably my least favorite. Canister being my first. I do run sponge filters in a lot of my aquariums. I don't use them, but to keep good bacteria cycle, a good colony of bacteria on them, so I can cycle new tanks or a QT tank when I need to. Internal power filters had those. Not a fan, but to each their own. But I really don't think canister filters are that much maintenance, in my opinion. Mike B, bottom of the chat, came in. Good to see you, buddy. Haven't seen that name in a while. HOB was just as bad to maintain as canisters for, and when I didn't clean my HOB, it actually flooded my room. Yeah. And if you don't have the right hang in the back, if the power goes out, they won't self-prime. Now, if you get a self-priming one, my favorite hang in the back filter, if I was going to buy one out of all the ones I've had, would be the Aqueon Quiet Flows. They're tanks, and they are super quiet. And they have the motor in the water, so you don't have to prime them. But canister filters really aren't that much maintenance. They're actually the least. When you have a canister filter, it's the least amount of maintenance because you can run them forever. And that's in my tanks. In my tanks, I keep fish in. I keep my aquariums to keep fish. So they're not pretty. They're not beautifully aquascaped. They're dirty. And I get pieces of plant floating around and crap wound up, and they still just keep going. Cecil says, I clean my canister filters every 8 months, if it needs it or not. Exactly. Brandon says, I run mine a year before cleaning his. Yes, this is what I'm talking about. I almost accidentally threw away my FX2. Long story, but I saved its life. Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, if you want to throw away some FXs, you could send them my way, buddy. Jose says, I love the canister. All about preference. My FX6, I'm pushing close to 1 year. Open 8 months was pretty good. I use a pre-filter. Yeah, I have to use. So on my 125 gallon Oscar tank, I had to use a pre-filter, and the same with my 75 gallon Mbuna tank, where you drill the holes in the inlet. You take the screen off, drill the holes around the inlet, about an 1/8 inch hole all around, and then you put the pre-filter over top because I was getting too much sand in there. And that has pretty much resolved that issue. Now, I do usually weekly have to change that pre-filter. I keep some extras on hand because if those clog up, they slow down, and that's weekly. That's the highest maintenance I have with a filter. But yeah, canisters seem to last pretty long. Yes, sir, they do. They last a long time. As you can see, everyone in the chat saying the same thing. A lot of people thought, they become a nitrate factory. Nope. And the nice thing is about running something that long, too. When I clean my canister filters, I'm taking them outside to the table I have out back, and I'm rinsing them off with hose water, tap water. It cleans them out super fast. Put it back in, you're good to go. I don't use the aquarium water to clean them. You just don't need to do that. If you have a good established tank, there's plenty of beneficial bacteria within the aquarium and the filter, and it's never been an issue for me. Hell, Jim and I think Patty's Aquatics, they'll even rinse their biomedia off with tap water. They never had an issue. I can't do that. I've had this conversation in the past. I just can't bring myself to rinse my biomedia filter off. This chair now. That's the light off. I think it's unmute. RGB, baby. Turn that off. Be a little bit more professional. What do you think? Wally says, I must be crazy. I get excited to clean filters. I like to see them. I do too, Wally. I enjoy taking them outside and seeing all the gunk coming out of them. So you would be both. Tim likes his Fluval canister filters. Jose says, yes, the whole work well. Take the pre-filter and clean once a week and maintain good flow. That's right. I've seen it to where I waited too long and it crushed that pre-filter tight against that thing. It was amazing. Shows you the power that those pumps produce. Lou says, I do clean my canister filters every couple months. It's not too bad once you get started. I do overstock and feed heavy, though I'm trying to get my zebra plecos to spawn alongside feeding a pupper. Okay, very cool. Yeah, so you're trying to breed some fish. You have to be a little bit more careful with that water quality. Costa says, do canister filters have flood safety like air pump check valves? Not as far as the fluvals, no. But what a lot of people do, Colossal, is they'll take some totes, and all mine are in totes, just in case there was a leak and I didn't catch it. But now that my fish room's out in my garage, it's not such a big deal. But I have them all in totes, and then what you can do is go get that watchdog alarm or whatever, and you stick in there, and an alarm will go off if water reaches a certain point. It detects it. A lot of people do that, but I don't go to those lengths. I'm in my fish room a lot, so I don't really pay attention or get too excited with the alarms and stuff. But I do have them in totes to collect water, so I don't have it all over the floor. Even though it's in the garage, I don't want it all over the floor. But I'm going to catch it if there's a problem. You love the new mic? Appreciate that feedback. I like it too. It's a lot better than the Yeti was. I don't know what was going on. Huh? Okay. Huh? Good. Okay. Yeah, I like this mic too. It sounds a lot better. That Yeti was messing up no matter what I did. I'd have to keep unplugging the USB and plugging it back in to get it to work. Um, and when I would record videos on Clipchamp, the audio would go in, it would fade in, it would fade out, it would fade in, and no matter what we did, it was a problem. So I got rid of it. I took it back, got my money back, and got the Razor Siren mic. I like it a lot. Sounds great, no issues. Plug it in, you're good to go. Now, the other thing I'm playing around with is a secondary monitor. I want to have a secondary monitor over here to the right so I can bring up, like maybe I can watch Discord over here while I'm going live, or maybe I can bring YouTube up over here and see, because I am noticing I have to have the YouTube chat up here because I'm missing some comments. Some are delayed, some are not, but I'd like to have YouTube up at the same time as I got Rumble up. I can do all that with secondary monitor. Now, what I did is I went and got the Acer 15.6 inch portable monitor. Got it here, having nothing but trouble getting it to work. Directions say just hook up the C cable, you're good to go. It wasn't working. C cable provides your video and audio, or your video and power. Wasn't working. Tried 100 different things. Came with 3 different cables. Nothing was working. So finally, I was like, let me try it on my laptop. Put the C cable to the laptop. Took right off. Was able to go in there. Go to displays. You have to change it from. You have to change that over when you have a secondary monitor to the extend screen, so you can take something over here and take it to that one. Worked good on the laptop. Put it back on here, nothing's working. I was like, didn't even have any picture saying no signal, no signal. So then I hooked up the HDMI cable that's running my main screen and put it on here, and it fired up. I'm like, okay, well, my computer only has one HDMI port. So I had to go get a splitter, get that this morning, come back, put it together. Now I got picture, but it's only duplicating the screen. Every time I try to change it to extend the screen, it doesn't save it. The computer still is not detecting the secondary monitor. And no matter what I do, it doesn't work. I've updated drivers. I've tried to force detect. Everything's up to date. Nothing's working. But if I hook that secondary monitor to the laptop, it works like it should. So I really don't know what to do at this point. If I have to take that monitor back and get one that works, that's compatible, which it should be. It's just a portable monitor. This thing will hook up to a phone, tablet, computer, laptops, and it's not working the way I want with this Windows computer I have. So if I have any tech gurus in here that can maybe help me out, keeping in mind I've already tried everything and it's not working. Sponge filters, Colossal says, sponge filters keep aquarium and pond surfaces oil-free, gas exchange, and no gunk from foam oil buildup. People who don't have sponge filters have oil surfaces bet. Now, I don't know, Colossal. I mean, I don't have oil on my surface. I'm not going to say I haven't. I have. There might be one or two that does have an oil on the surface. Let's just look at one real quick. No, sir, I don't have any oil slicks. And like I said, I'm all canister. I do have some hanging-backs running the secondaries, but I don't have any oil sitting on my surfaces of my aquariums. No, sponge filters are definitely cool. They definitely have served their purpose. But as for actually filtering a lot of the water and turning over water, they're gonna. Everything has its pros and cons. If you have a bunch of small tanks and you're breeding fish, excuse me, cough drop. Excuse me. And you're breeding fish, there's by far, as far as efficiency goes, like Mad Max does, air filters on a line, running all your tank, you're done. Fantastic. But when you have larger tanks and larger fish, or a lot of medium-sized fish, your air filters ain't going to cut it, man. This 55-gallon behind me, I got to get a spray bar on it. You can see the flows just blazing in there. But I got 2 Oscars I'm growing out in there. And if I had sponge filters in there, I got lots of power heads, most in all my aquariums, Colossal. But this one behind me is just the output flow of the Fluval 407. The water has evaporated a little bit, so it's hitting harder. I got to top that tank back off. But I want to get a spray bar on it so I can give them Oscars a break. John's Linux World says you usually only get oil or protein buildup on the surface if no filtration is being run. Right. Yeah, like even if your dead spots if you have an aquarium and you have dead spots on it, and where you don't have a lot of surface agitation, like John's saying, if you look at it, you can get a little bit of oil build up there. Sorry, I've been hearing me clacking this cough drop. I'm not sick. It's just these blood pressure medicine I'm on makes me cough. I'm actually so sore from coughing so hard all the time. Now, when I complained like that, was that just complaining or was that drama? You see what I mean? Daniel says, I replaced the HOBC Chem 55. The 40B to 207 had a coolie loach get into the HOB and pass away. And it was way too powerful, and it was really noticeable, and the tank still runs those, so it works. Colossal says, my sponge filters have been on for 3 months. The secret is the air stones at the bottom. I guess they last longer. Yeah. Jose says, I have spray bars with them, no buildup or anything on surface. Yeah, I got a spray bar on my 55 Tiger Barb tank all the way across. And I've got one on that 29. I like spray bars. You can make DIY ones for the FX series. That's one thing I'm surprised Fluval hasn't done, is come out with a kit to make a spray bar for the Fluval FX series, because they don't have them. As far as last I checked, you have to make your own out of PVC. Daniel says my lisinopril blood thinner is the same thing, makes me cough. Yeah, it's the only blood pressure medicine that keeps my blood pressure down. We've tried like 5 different ones. They don't work. I have to keep going back to my lisinoprils. I've been on them now straight for a while. Makes me cough so bad. The like down here. So if you're holding if you take your 2 hands and you put them on your belly button like this, your left hand, if you rub back and forth, all that area right there is so sore when I cough from coughing so much. Scotty says, hey, Jesse, I have a spray bar that fits an FX6. If it will fit your 407, you have a spray bar that fits that'll fit an FX6. If it will fit your 407, yeah. But if it fits your FX6, it's not going to fit the 407, because the 407 has smaller tubing unless you have it adapted down. But if you have a spray bar, I'll most definitely take it. I need to get one on this tank, as you can see, to give the fish a break from all that flow. But it's a 407. Stony Scapes, Fluval has FX spray bars. Do they? Okay, last I looked, they didn't make one. You had to make your own. I've seen a lot of people making their own. Tommy says, I have a couple of Zero Tech tanks, and I don't have an issue with protein buildup on the top. I think that is a result from overfeeding or dirty hands in the water. That makes sense. Actual Zero Tech, the only thing that they are getting is ambient light from an outside source not attached to the tank. That's cool, Tommy. What adaptation is Alan? What adaptation is Alan? I don't know what you mean by that, Stony. How many months does it take to get green algae and diatoms, brown algae, to start to go away? In my experience, Colossal, green algae and brown algae start growing really soon, even soon after starting them. It happened in this one. I set that tank up and I was already getting green algae. I actually had to dial the light down, dialed it down, and that really, you can see on the side the green algae sitting there and the brown algae and all that. But as far as going away, it never goes away unless you scrape it out or a fish eat it. Once you have it, I don't see it just going away. It'll live in there. You have to physically scrape it out. Look at that bully back there. I had 4 of them. The albino died. The third one got bullied by that big one, killed him. Couldn't bring him back. Now he's bullying that other one. I may have to put him in the 125 with the big boys to teach him a lesson. Is that what we got to do? I'll do it. Sorry, I was watching the tank. This guy says, I'll dig around and see if I can find an email. Sounds good, Raisin, or we can DM on Discord. Jose says, our black PVC, very nice. Black PVC does look better than white, doesn't stand out as bad. Was trying to find them again online. No luck so far. Very easy to make if you choose 3/4 pipe. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I like the kits. It comes with everything you need. I've tried to make a couple of one of those one time, and I forget what the problem was, but it didn't work out for me. Jose says the latest FX6 I have don't have a bar on. I'll have to make it myself. Yeah. Yeah, spray bars are nice. They spread that out. They don't have so much flow. Good surface agitation all the way across the aquariums. And what's cool about them is you can adjust one up or one down in the center and the out 2 up. I like it a lot. These spray bars. But again, that's what I like about this Higer. They like to add that little side spray bar on their stuff. Right here, you can put that feature on or you can take it off. I'm excited to try this. And of course, like I said earlier, they got that. They love their little protein skimmers. But a hang on the back canister filter, right up my alley. And here's the mic that I use. If anyone likes the sound of this mic, this is the one you want to get. If you like the colorations, you can do a lot. Or you can get the mini version. It's cheaper, but you don't get the colors. Rosie says, hi, Jesse. How is your goldfish doing? So you have been treating her. Yeah, she's still in QT. I had to do a water change in the tank today just to put some fresh water in there for them and then add more salt. She was bloating up and pine coning a lot to the point she was getting them white clear sacs coming out. The white clear sacs have gone away. She's not pine coning as much as she was, but she's still bloated up. So I like to do a good water change in there for them. Now, the thing is, as long as I've been fighting this, they recommend not to feed your fish during that time, but she is not bloated due to constipation. This is either parasitic or bacterial. So I throw her 2 or 3 goldfish pellets, North Fin pellets, every other day to keep her fed and keep the nutrients, him. And I still dose Vitachem in there once a week, which is something I have to do today. I got to go around and dose Vitachem in all my tanks. So monitoring the goldfish seems to be doing a little better, but still puffed up. So I'm still working at it. Jose says on the 90 and 120, I have on the end and creates ripples all across. I only have the FX valve halfway. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a fan of the spray bars. Some people don't like them, but I like them a lot. Now, in my 125s with my bigger fish, I don't have a spray bar on that, obviously. I just have the flow. I need to flow in those tanks, especially the Oscars. They poop a lot, and there's big poops. So I actually have a power head running in there too. You know, if your outflow from your filters this way, you put the power head on the same side as the filter outlet. So the flow goes this way, hits the end of the tank, comes back around and brings all that. I said that wrong. You put the power head on the same size the filter inlet is at. So the flow goes this way and it brings everything towards the inlet to suck it up. Clausen said, I'll be receiving 4-grade AAA Karen. Is that Kieran or Kyron Ranches in 1 week? If they breed, I'll have to get a 10 to 20 gallon tub or tote for fry. Airstones are small sponge filters that have air. Airstones are not small sponge filters. They're just an airstone. You have to put the airstone inside a filter to get the filtration effect. But I've never heard of these AAA Kieran Ranches. I'm assuming Ranches makes me feel like that's a goldfish breed colossal. Rosie says, that's great. I don't have any luck treating fish. Yes. Now, see, neither have I, Rosie. However, up until this point, I've tried the peas, the raw garlic, the meds. Nothing ever worked for bloat, dropsy, right? Well, I had betas come down with it, tiger barbs come down with it, goldfish come down with it. And I was always able to fix it with 30-minute Epsom salt baths every day in a bucket, not in the tank. And I was able to fix it. This one here, this is a nasty case. That's why I'm pretty certain it's not due to constipation. Plus, I do see poop in the tank, and I do see him pooping. So it's either parasitic or bacterial. I've treated him with both of those meds. At this point, he seems to be slightly getting better with just the salt, but I feel like I might want to do another round of meds. I think the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put General Cure and erythromycin in the tank with them at the same time, which is 100% safe to do. I've done it many times. And try to treat again for both the bacterial and parasitic and see if we have any luck. I'm trying my hardest to save them. Are your goldfish they're fancy. I currently have all fancy goldfish. Calicos, 2 calicos, and I don't know what that other one was. She's a beast. So it's fun. You learn how to do different things real quick when you have multiple tanks with multiple fish species for sure. Klaus says, if it's fancy, sinking pellets, I usually soak the pellets in water for. Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's definitely not bloat or dropsy due to them intaking air at the surface. If I feed them flakes, which is rare, I put it in the water so they're not at the surface, sucking in that air. I have sinking goldfish, Northfin sinking goldfish pellets. So, yep, that's check on that, man. That don't happen with me. I understand that fancy goldfish are very prone to bloat because of their design. So I make sure all the food goes under the water surface so they're not at the top sucking in all that air. Oh, you're exactly right. Yep. Floating is not good for their swim bladder. Yeah, you and I are on the same page. So, well, guys, it's been an hour 20, almost an hour 20. I'm going to go ahead and jump off. I got some things to take care of this weekend. I certainly appreciate you guys coming in and chatting with me. I got to try out this new mic with you guys. It sounds like everyone likes this better than the Yeti. So I'm going to jump off. I'll see you on this review video with this canister filter from Higer. Do you keep their water at a no? So a goldfish are cold water fish, and I don't heat my tanks. I let the split unit. Happy New Year's to you, June. But unfortunately, unless I put a chiller on that tank, it's not going to get any colder. So it's right around 74 degrees. I cannot make it any colder. I thought about making that DIY chiller where you take a mini fridge and you get about 50 foot of garden hose and a pump, drill a hole in the fridge, put keep the garden hose coiled up, put it in the fridge, close it, drill a hole to a pump, have an in and out, and the whole time that water's going in that fridge is getting cooled and back in the aquarium. But your fish can adapt. Goldfish are pretty hardy, though. All fish will adapt to temperatures as long as you keep it in that sweet spot, and it don't get too warm. You're good to go. You guys have a good day. Appreciate you guys coming in. Thanks for the membership at the June. June has her own level of membership on my stream because that's what June does. Yeah, heating the house. I like heating the room more than heating the tanks. You don't have to worry about heaters failing. You don't have another thing in the tank. You don't have less things to buy. I just heat and cool the room. So, but hour 20, I'm going to jump off. Streaming from Rumble wasn't too bad. So, you guys have a good rest of your weekend. Be safe. I'll see you out in the field.